Hi, my name is Daryl Johnson of One of a Kind by Design. I first like to say, hey, happy Friday. Doing it again. For those of you that don't know what this channel is, this is the channel for One of a Kind by Design's mastermind group. And I offer tips and occasional case studies and interviews. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now, before I get started with this tip I'm going to give this week is I usually start off with telling you guys who the mastermind of the week is. And as I stated on last Friday, we had two, but I was going to split them up just to give them both their just due. Now, this week is Shanti Roddy. And what she does, well, I'm going to tell you the name of her company. The name of her company is Intuitive Risk Management International. And basically what they handle is risk management and identity theft protection. Okay. So if you want to know more about her company, go ahead and just click here. For those of you that are on YouTube, you should be able to see that. Okay. But if you're somewhere else, you probably don't see it. It'll be in the description somewhere. I'll make sure I do that. But also on YouTube, it'll be down at the bottom and you can go and actually see her company. Now, also, you'll be able to see what great tips she actually gave. Okay. Now, even though she gave one tip, I'm going to talk about something that she did maybe about like a month ago. And that kind of led me to my conversation on last week about going out, getting out of your comfort zone and getting out there and seeing your clients. And she actually attended a conference, okay? And the conference that she attended was like a college, and I'm sure she did really good. She has some really great pictures, so maybe you can ask her to see those pictures on the timeline for those of you that are in the mastermind group if you did not see them. And remember, her name is Shanti Roddy. Go ahead and talk to her and check that out. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and get started with our tip for today. What I want to talk about this Friday is using backlinks to improve your SEO. And I'm going to do it in a simple form because I know a lot of you out there, like myself, don't really care for SEO, but it's a necessity. It's a must do, basically. So I'm going to kind of explain it to you by using backlinks. Now, if you don't know what backlinks are, say for instance, you go to someone's blog, okay, and you leave a message and you comment on what they said, just like I stated on last week. If you didn't see that, please go back and check it out. And you leave a message on there, and then you leave a link back to your website or a landing page. Generally, I tell everybody it's best to send it to your website because, you know, with anything, sometimes you stick with things, sometimes you don't, but it'll always be there for your website. So even if your website changes up, that link will still be there for that domain name. Other words, okay? Now, also when you do that, there's something that's called hyperlinks. You want to use hyperlinks in your blog for those of you that have a blog or able to make changes on a WordPress page or whatever the case may be, whatever affiliate program you're with, if you're able to make those changes. You want to use hyperlinks, and you want to use those hyperlinks at high PR sites. Other words, saying like ESPN, if you're doing the health and fitness thing. If you're doing like business, you want to use Huffington Post and, you know, those type of sites. Those are high PR sites. And it's always good to do hyperlinks to them, especially on the same topic that you're talking about. And this will also help you if you go and read one of those posts there, then you can give your version and then link with them that way through a hypertext. This is going to give you a lot of authority. Okay, so that's one good thing you need to be doing. I know this is at the end of the year, and I generally like to try to get all that kind of stuff ready for the next year because you want to make sure that you got a lot of hyperlinks and a lot of backlinks out there. So when you start doing your blogs, you don't really have to focus on it that much. So I generally will use December to do a lot of that. Now, I know some of you are doing e-commerce, okay? In other words, you're selling products too, so it's going to kind of make it a little harder for you to get that done, but it can be done. So go ahead and put your foot down and put your head down at that computer and get to work, okay? Now, I'm going to talk about another subject. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to throw that in just to kind of top off from last week so you guys know how important that SEO thing is. Now, also, because this is the end of the year, I generally like to get myself ready for the next year. So basically at this time, if you have not done it, this is like the best time to see what products you have. In other words, take inventory of everything that you have that you're actually marketing, okay? Because I know a lot of times for a lot of us, okay, we'll get that shiny object syndrome and we'll see something that's new or someone that done talked us into something. You know, for those of us that are still doing it, I know I'm past that point now. Okay. You basically got to know what you are going to do with your business. So, but what you need to do right now is do an assessment of everything that you had this year. See how well it did. See what was easier to sell as opposed what was harder to sell, and make that decision. That's why I was talking about earlier. Some things you stay with and some things you don't. Okay. And there's no problem with that. As you know, as long as it's working for you, because we're all in this to do what? Make money. Okay. And if you're spending money on something and you're not making any money from it, then don't be scared to just cut it off, because people will tell you, well, just hang in there, hang in there, hang in there. Well, how long is your money? You know, how long is your money going to last while you're hanging in there? Sometimes you need to just snip that stuff off at the, at the corner, so you can go ahead and move on and learn from it. Okay. Or maybe even just put it to the side for a minute and say, okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to have to get back to that, but I'm going to take that little money that I was spending on that and put that on another budget. So what you need to be doing right now is getting ready for your budget for next year. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is by taking an assessment of what you did in the past year. In other words, putting all your things together and seeing what actually sold and what did not sell. Okay. How much you actually spend and how much you actually brought in. Okay. So that way you can set your goals for the next year. Okay. So I just want to kind of put that out there, because I know a lot of internet marketers, especially newbies, a lot of times they just go like, I'll just sell, and I'll spend and it'll all come together. No, it won't. If you don't make a plan, then you're going to be shortchanged. Okay. So you need to get on that. And I generally like to do that in December. Now, I know, like I say, with a lot of people with the e-commerce things, this is their high end of the year because of the holidays. So they're pushing a lot of products out there for the holidays too. I even see people that's selling stuff to internet marketers talking about Black Friday sale. And it's a system that they sent me a week ago at the same price. And when I looked at that, the first thing I did was like, right. Okay. But I'm not being evil. I'm not being evil, but it is what it is. Okay. But it's that time of the year. So I know it's very, very busy for a lot of us. So go ahead and get your stuff in order, because the new year is just right around the corner. And the first thing you need to be doing is making a resolution of how much you want to make next year. Okay. But you can't do that until you know where you come from and what you've accomplished. So this is the time you need to go back and reflect on that and get that stuff in order. Okay. Now, I guess that's all I'm going to say today. So if you stayed with me this long, go ahead and hit that subscribe button somewhere around here. It should be down a little red button, and get ready for next year, because what I'm going to do is a lot of more case studies that I'll actually do on the computer, and you actually see me doing some things that you can follow along. So the best thing to do is go ahead and subscribe now, so when those things do come out, you'll get them as soon as they come out. Well, I'm out for today. Hey, you have a wonderful